All right, remember to subscribe because we have that nice contest. And the last show, if you look at it, there's also a secret contest in there. No one's won. But here we go today, since everyone's talking about cooling and heating and burning coffee, all this with their La Pavonis. I'm just going to take my pre-mills and do my own little experiment. It's just with the stuff I have, so it's not the end prescription to every graph and all of that. It's just I have an IMSA set with the cooling fins. They're pretty nice. I like the color. That's one reason I got them. He made the special color and it matches the base of the machine on the Goddess. So we're going to go ahead and use that because I can read the temperature, and it's on the cooling fins, and I know there's all the controversy of where to do the temperature, but this is with what I have, so I'm going to do it this way. And we're going to make a couple of espressos, and we're going to just leave this machine on longer than I usually do. We'll see how hot we can really get it. So let's go. It's starting to raise up. We'll get the pressure gauge there. This is an old cap machine, original cap, not a redone cap, but I did remove it and do the machine and replace it back on again. It was kind of a chore, but so if you don't have to remove those caps, just leave them working till you have to. But anyhow, so this one goes, it heats a little slower. You can see that our machine we did in the very beginning is running good. It heats up really quick, a lot quicker than these. Not dramatically, but enough so that you can see I'm already making a coffee there on that one. So as far as this old cap, they might heat up about 2/3 quicker. I'm not sure. But anyway, that doesn't really matter, but I'm going to make us a coffee back there while this keeps heating up. So we're going to bring this up to, it usually goes a little over 1 bar. I have a little different gauge on this. I like different faces on the gauges just for fun, and this one's kind of adapted out, so we'll keep going. And right now it's hitting about 1 bar, which is the lower red dial, which says 100. So that's about 1 bar, and we're going to switch this down in a minute. I've already steamed some milk on the other machine, and Uta's making us a nice salad. We have little coffees and then a nice salad. We got some fresh heart of palm and cucumbers from the little farmer's market delivery, so we're really stoked on that. And we've turned down, we're at 1 bar, went down to 1, and we'll go ahead and raise the lever, and then we'll wait to get some drips. And it's just steadily been rising the whole time, about the same speed. A little quicker now that we are allowing water up into the group head, so we'll just see how warm that goes up to. And you can see that the pressure's dropping. This machine usually runs about like 6 to 07. It runs at a really good, this old cap idles at a very good temperature. It goes up to about 1 bar, and if you didn't raise the bar right after you turned down, it would settle down to about 6 or 7, 06, 07, right in there. Usually about 07 it runs at. So you can see as I pulling down, it goes down to its operating pressure. And that's just the way this machine works. You can observe, different machines and see how they react. But this is a real old machine, super old cap, but running great with a couple of changes. So we've gone a while. We've gotten it up to 82.8. I think I'm trying to get it to 88 would be the high temperature, but I haven't got there yet. So we're going to do another shot. So we've done 1 shot, and now we're going to have to do another one. Anyway, that's Uta turning on the fans. But here we go. We're getting texts. So we're hanging in there. We're doing our second shot, and the pressure stayed the same, about 0.07. That's pretty good pressure on this older machine. Runs a little bit lower pressure than some of the other heating elements, but you can see we made it to about 81.1 so far, and now we're going to do a nice little second shot. and just see if that affects the temperature much. It's, you know, look at it now, it's kind of peaked out, it's staying the same. So 81.2, it didn't really change there, and going about 0.07 on the pressure, and that's our second shot. So I didn't really wait for that temperature because that's the outside, so we're, you know, you're really thinking of the water temperature and pressure. But there we go. So now it's down and slowly raising back up just a tiny bit. It just jumps tiny this way or that. We did a nice little shot. Sometimes I use those little cups for a second, and I'll put that in my latte, and we'll just let this baby keep idling for a while, and there it goes. It's going to hit its top temperature here pretty soon. We'll see how warm we can get. I'm just going to run it. We're going to see if we can overheat this machine. And we're going to just let it go. So we'll see if how hot we can really get it. And of course the temperature is the cooling fin. So, you know, you can think of different ways. People may be more interested in the water, but the pressure just manages to stay right at 0.7. This one stays really, really steady. And we just keep going. So the temperature kind of just stays within a degree, if anything, on the cooling fins. And it just runs really good. And then I also went and I made some espressos, and I did the temperature coming out of the cup. So when I did a bottomless, it came out, the espresso came out at 160. So you know, that could be allowing for any cooling or anything, but those espressos from every machine were at 160. And then I did one with my single pout, you know, my little single spout, and lean that up against it. Of course, that could be warmer because it's touching the portafilter, but that was 165 Fahrenheit. So they all came out the same, and I couldn't overheat the machine. I hope 25 minutes, much longer than I ever leave them on. But remember to subscribe, and there we go.